international news, and sport. Tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 1 minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of the News Sponge, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. This is where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman, and here are the stories making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, the Federal Road Safety Corps has said that the second phase of the use of the second Niger Bridge would commence on January 2nd, 2023. The federal government had on December 15, 2022, opened the second Niger Bridge for temporary use. It was announced that motorists traveling from the west to the east would be allowed to use the bridge from December 15, 2022, while motorists returning from the east to the west would be allowed from January 2nd, 2023. However, the sector commander, FRSC Delta State, Mr. Odeme Eshiet, urged road users to adhere to the directive. Still in Nigeria, the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, said the COVID-19 Emergency Operations Center has met over the increase in COVID-19 cases in China. Adetifa said the center would continue to review the ongoing COVID-19 situation over the coming week and will implement necessary actions if need be. The NCDC boss disclosed this in a series of tweets via his Twitter handle on Sunday. He said the Nigerian COVID-19 response continues to be executed through 4 pillars: continued surveillance, genomic surveillance, capacity for surge testing, and vaccination. Meanwhile, on the foreign scene, France has begun testing passengers arriving from China in order to track potential COVID variants. According to France Health Minister Francois Braun, visitors from China must wear a mask and be prepared to submit to a test on arrival, which will be done at random. France joins other states, including the United Kingdom, Italy, and the United States, in testing arrivals from China 4 weeks after Beijing scrapped its zero COVID containment policy of lockdowns and mass testing. And in the world of sports, Tottenham Hotspur coach Antonio Conte has admitted Tottenham faces a fight to finish in the Premier League's top 4 after a costly mistake from Hugo Lloris condemned the North Londoners to a damaging 2-0 defeat against Aston Villa on Sunday. Playing for the first time since France's World Cup final defeat against Argentina, Tottenham goalkeeper Lloris weakly spilled Douglas Luiz's shot early in the second half, and Emiliano's Buendia pounced to put Villa ahead. Lloris was left on the bench for Tottenham's draw against Brentford on December 26 as he rested after France's agonizing final loss in Qatar. And that's all we have for you on this morning's edition of the News Sponge. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of the major stories making the rounds. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, so help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
A very good morning to you once again. If you're just tuned in and joining us, this is Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, and you're welcome to the Diamond Breakfast Show, a production of our News and Current Affairs Department here at Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. This is where we take a look at some of the trending stories making the rounds. We analyze it, we dissect it, and towards the end of the show, we open up the phone lines so you can also contribute and tell us your thoughts on the issues discussed this morning. But before we get into that, this is the first time we're meeting this year, 2023. So it's in place. It's better to say Happy New Year now before we forget and go on with our festivities. Very, very Happy New Year to you from all of us right here at Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. And we hope that this year brings you lots and lots of blessings, lots of great things this year. And today in the studio with me, I have Dr. Zil Olatubosun, an educationist, a public affairs analyst, and a social commentator. Good morning to you, Dr. Zil.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you.
I wish you the same.
All right. And now let's quickly get on with the issues. Let's not forget you can join us via our social media platforms. You can join us on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM, YouTube, Diamond FM Ilorin, and you can drop your comments via these platforms as well, or send us messages via WhatsApp 09136 556864 09136556864. Dr. Zil, the first issue we'll be taking a look at this morning is the issue of the statement credited to parents of the Chibok schoolgirls that were kidnapped many years ago. Parents of the abducted schoolgirls and other members of the Chibok community have urged President Muhammadu Buhari to rescue the remaining girls in captivity. This was contained in a New Year open letter to the president signed by Yana Galang and Zana Lawan. The memo reminded Buhari of his promise to ensure the release of the captives kidnapped nearly 9 years ago. In April 2014, 276 female students of the government girls' secondary school in Chibok, Borno State were taken by the Boko Haram. A total of 180 were found at different times, some with kids, while 96 are still missing. The parents recalled President Buhari's words during his inaugural speech on May 29, 2015, when he said, "But we cannot claim to have defeated Boko Haram without rescuing the Chibok girls and all other innocent persons held hostage by insurgents. This government will do all it can to rescue them alive." End of quote. Now, let's start with the statement by the parents of the Chibok girls. Yes. I know it's a very sad thing to know that your kids are probably somewhere. You don't even know whether they are alive or not. Yes. You don't know the conditions they're in, and they're still holding forth. They're still hoping that one day these kids will be found. So let's take a look at their statement to President Buhari to ensure the release of these girls. Now, let's not forget that this government is about winding down in a couple of months. What do you think? What is your reaction to the statement by the parents?
Thank you for having me and for giving me this opportunity, being the first analyst to appear this first year. It's a great privilege.
It is.
And I
it's
appreciate
nice
Diamond FM to always give us this.
Well,
so I also greet our listeners at home. But let me say this. For those who think someone like Dr. Zil, anytime he come on air and they talk of this administration, because that's what some of them will say, why he's always like this, why is he attacking, it's not so. It is the reality. I am a realist. I can't tell anyone blue is black or white is brown when I know it is white. So if you look at it, this is the scorecard that this administration lied. Let me not call it shenanigan, deception, so that let's call it the simple 3-letter word. It was a blatant lie to tell them, you promised them, because that was what he and those who are now coming out now among them to say they also want to become president, they told Nigerians that we are going to rescue the Chibok girls. But they are about to go. Instead of them to promise, to fulfill the promise of rescuing these Chibok girls, all of them in totality, what do? You see them, they now, a few months to go, it is now Naira, they are coloring. It is now, whereby security, ex-security man that you are supposed to fulfill that. At least that should be a take-home. Because that is actually your area of specialization, security. But you failed woefully. I want to tell you, I will not sit down here and praise any administration, apart from this one, even the one of the past, who did not secure Nigerians, who did not provide security. Because that is one of the major things in our constitution, that the primary responsibility of a responsible government is to provide security for lives and properties. So what are we talking about? This is failure. And I want to tell you, the parents of these Chibok girls and the likes of OBS Ekwesili and some others, this Aisha and all Yusufu and all that, they have relaxed. In fact, there was a time I was interested in joining them, but they were not giving me the leverage. They said I'll be too blunt. I said, but you people are now, they now said they want me. I said, but now I'm now busy. But I'll be using my avenue to talk about it, because the truth is, we need to let this government know before they leave that if not anything, they don't know anything about economy. The only thing we believe they can do is security, because the president happens to be general, military man. So he should face security. Let him take care of that. Let him not tell us anything else. Because if he can achieve that, now, I want to tell you, it's going to be a take-home. So they have failed. They've not done what they need to do. It's as if they deceived Nigerians and the parents of these ones under this same administration. It's not just Chibok. Remember Dapchi.
Dapchi girls.
Yes, they may say, because they used to blame the past administration. So who would they blame for the one that happened during their own, which is the Dapchi girls? So if you look at it, it is 100% failure on the part of this administration not to actually at least save the remaining 90-something that remain. Because whether we like it or not, this 96, some will tell you, yeah, don't blame president. After all, he has appointed some people. The truth is that the leader, the appointer, still have the power. You can hire and fire and put the right people there.
Hold people accountable.
Yes, and hold them accountable, because that is the only way you yourself can tell people, you know, when I put them there, they didn't do well, I remove them. But in Nigeria, people don't like you to fire people. But I tell people, if you employ me to do something and I don't do it well to your satisfaction, please fire me. Fire me, because you want results. But in a situation whereby I am there, then you are using nepotism so that they will not say we didn't give their tribe. Let them use their 7 years, 8 years, because that is what is going on in Nigeria now. It's not competence anymore. It is this tribalism. He's an Hausa man, he's a Yoruba man, he is this. Let him use his time. Then next time he's going to the south, he's going to the north. Who does that? How are we going to get out of this north-south geopolitical zone, religion, all this? It's not helping us. And that is why you see that it is because of this same spirit that most of those girls are there. The one in Dapchi, there is this girl, Leah Sharibu.
Yes.
Remember, Leah happened to be a Christian. That alone does not send signal to this administration and the president that what will people say? He doesn't care. They've been saying it that he's nepotistic, he's religiously biased. He doesn't care about that. But assuming the person they kidnap is somebody from his family, or let's say one of his children, will he keep quiet? Just his son, Yusuf, before he got married in 2013 or 2014, he drove power bike, and Yusuf Buhari had accident. And you need to see the way Aisha Buhari and Mr. President, you see the way they were running up and down. And they used the nation money to take care of their children. Their daughter used Nigerian air to travel. So what I'm talking about is that they should see it as if it's their own. They should rescue these children. Because if they don't, I want to tell you to be on record that we have a president who knows about security but does not do anything about it.
All right, Dr. Zil, there's still a lot to talk about when it comes to this Chibok girls.
Yes.
With this government winding down, do you think anything can still be done to ensure they are released? Then, do you think, is there any hope of rescuing these girls? But we need to hold that thought. When we come back from this short time out, we will be talking about that. There's still a lot to talk about on this issue and on the Diamond Breakfast Show. To stay with us, we'll be right back.
Your dreams of owning a home in an organized, well-laid-out, secured environment with 24-hour stable electricity and portable drinking water is within your reach. Grab this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as Las Vegas Imperial Estate offers for sale 50 plots of land measuring 450 square meters per plot at 8 million naira. That is a massive 2 million naira off the normal rate of 10 million naira per plot. This end-of-the-year promo lasts from November 10, 2022 to January 31st, 2023. Payments can be made in installments within these 3 months, while outright payments attract a 5% discount. Las Vegas Imperial Estate is located right behind Kwara State House of Assembly Complex, overlooking the Asta Dam water. For inquiries, contact 0806 286 5734 or 0803 046 1993. Las Vegas Imperial Estate, luxury and comfort.
Hey, sweetheart.
Yes, baby.
Do you feel any better now?
No, the cough has refused to go and my chest is paining me.
Not to worry. I have the perfect man for the job.
Perfect man for the job?
Yes. IPEC-H. IPEC-H anti-tussive, anti-allergic, expectorant. 4. Dry and painful chest cough. Patients with tuberculosis, common cold and catarrh, nasal congestion, allergy, relieves itchy throat, and it has this wonderful soothing effects.
IPEC-H.
Yes, IPEC-H, a product of Biomedical Limited.
All right, welcome back. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. I'm still your host, Bisola Oduwole Suleiman, and I have with me in the studio Dr. Zil Olatunbosun. And today we're talking about, this morning, the first issue we're talking about is on the Chibok girls, the ones yet to be released, how far this government has done. And before we went on that break, I asked Dr. Zil, is there any hope that these girls can still be found? And what can this government do to ensure that before they go, or before this administration winds down, these girls are released or these girls are found?
You see, we cannot say for sure, looking at the antecedents of this administration, that they are really willing to rescue all. They may rescue some. And they may do that if the time now, everybody is talking at the same time. Let them not treat it like ASU matter. Because as we speak, if we are not seeing one thing about some of us, especially the people who are not in government, the citizens, they don't want us to talk about the bad thing this government is doing. You will see even on radio, some will call and say, let's not be praying. They will say, provide solution. Even when you are providing the solution, they are not seeing what you are talking about. So what we are talking about is that we should all be talking and be protesting at the same time. That enough is enough. Before you go, you should do this. Because you are winding down. Because what Mr. President is talking about now is going back to Daura. If you check lately, he's not even talking about, I still have unfinished job of security, which I am known for. He's only talking about, I can't wait to go back to Daura. I can't wait to hand over to conduct free and fair election, that even with what is going on, we are not certain of free and fair election. So everything he's talking about is not really, so the hope is not on him, but only on God to intervene. The reason why I say so is that when you check the way our president, this is the most traveled president ever.
All right.
He doesn't, if assuming our president is traveling to go to Sambisa to check, or people who are in one problem or the other, I will not be angry. But he travels out of the country in the name of representing Nigeria, even when Nigeria is having problem, before he travels. So you can see that even when we are having problem, our president will travel.
All right.
So no hope from him, but hope on God to intervene, and by through our cry, our outcry, in fact, we should not do in cry, outcry. If there is anything like in cry, outcry that we can, the God in heaven will intervene on this matter, and we should not see it as Chibok matter, Dapchi matter, Northern matter. Everybody should see it as it is our matter, because as we speak, insecurity is everywhere now. Before, it used to be one part of Nigeria, and we were all seeing it as let them be fighting themselves. But someone like me, I've never seen it that way, because I believe that in as much you are a human being, and I know that you are not evil, you are not trying to harm me, you are there peacefully. I see you like a creature from God. I don't want to know your religion. And if there is any issue wherever you are, I will take your fight as my fight.
All right.
So that's what we need. We need to know that we should put our hope on God and be crying now. And all of us should say, not say, Mr. President is trying. He's not trying on this one. We should know that he can still do something. He should do it.
So within the space of this few months that the government has to wind down, there's still something that can be done to ensure that these girls are released.
At least, if not all, because the truth of the matter is, except we are deceiving ourselves, we cannot have all of them back. They are girls. You expect, in fact, some of them, even the ones they rescued, they came back with children. And some of them are even crying that they want to go back. So what are we talking about? Some of them, they must have used them for suicide bombing. Some of them, they must have used them in different ways. But we know, even if they are those who are still alive with children, are married to these useless people, let's have them back. Because that's not where they belong.
All right, Dr. Zil, thank you very much. But please, let's mind the kind of words that we use on
for terrorists. I should not call them useless.
Let's mind though. It's radio. It's radio.
I understand.
We can call them terrorists. They are criminals. That's what they are. But let's not use words like that. All right. Let's quickly move on to the second issue, and this is on the New Year message of. It's still the New Year, so there are lots of messages and reports going around. The New Year message of former President Olusegun Obasanjo to Nigerians, where he endorsed the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has publicly declared support for Peter Obi to win the 2023 presidential election. Obasanjo made the declaration on Sunday in an open letter to youths in Nigeria. The letter coincides with the New Year celebration and comes 8 weeks to the general polls. He said, though all the candidates have the capacity to rule, Peter Obi is the needed needle and the thread the country needs. Obasanjo urged the young Nigerians to exercise their right, take active part in the 2023 election and defend their votes. The former president said, and I quote, "The last 7.5 years have no doubt been eventful and stressful years for many Nigerians. We have moved from frying pan to fire and from the mountaintop to the valley. Our leaders have done their best, but their best has turned out not to be the best for Nigerians and Nigerians at home and abroad. For most Nigerians, it was hell on earth. Those of us who are alive should thank God for his mercies, brace ourselves for the remaining few months of this administration, and pray and work very hard for an immediate better future of liberation, restoration, and great hope and expectation." End of quotes. Let me first take your reaction to this letter by Obasanjo. Then we also talk about his assessment of the Buhari administration, also in the letter.
Okay. You see, there is this political deceptive adage. It's politically deceptive. They will tell you, don't mind the messenger, only mind the message. That's politically deceptive. Anybody that is saying it, anytime I hear that word from people, I always look at them that, who are you deceiving? Deceive yourself. For me, as an individual, I refused to be deceived. I refused because Mr. Former General, our ex-president, check him out. Who is talking? He's saying that every time we are going for election, he endorsed the person that is there now. He has raised up his former deputy on points. If anybody is following very well, do you know that they said there is this adage in Yoruba language that I will translate it in English, that if you are an elder, we should meet you responsibly in the elder's position. You don't misbehave. You don't, because of your own selfish interest, tell us certain things, and when we look at what you yourself you have done in the past, we know that you are not for us, you are for yourself. So for me, that's his own opinion.
All right.
Nigerians should not be deceived and follow this whatever. Let Nigerians use their wisdom based on what they have suffered from this same person. Because if you check, somebody that is telling Nigerians now that somebody is the best needle, himself, when he was there, we know that under his administration, because people will tell you he has done this, you can't do all of that. Whatever it is, if the problem is still there, and the problem, instead of when he was even leaving, he wanted to even come for the third time. And not only that, under his administration, it was alleged, and we saw it realistically, that also 16 billion was spent for power. So if you look at all these indices, and you now check what is telling us, the same person that is telling Nigerians they should consider was also part of the economic advisors that did not work. So people should not be deceived. Let them not see him as saints, telling us, because himself said, even all of them are not saints, including himself, the messenger, the letter writer, that he himself that is talking, because we want to hear word from saints. We don't want words from people who are not saints.
All right. Now, let's quickly take a look at the implication of Obasanjo's endorsements for Peter Obi.
Yes.
Well, do you think it has any effect on people's resolve or people's they're voting for certain people or a certain candidate? Him endorsing Peter Obi at this point in time, do you think it will have any effect in the long run?
It will not. That's what I'm trying to say, ma. That he endorsed President Muhammadu Buhari. And what do we have? We are talking of security now.
But do you believe every other person also shares your thoughts? Do you think everybody also thinks like you?
Everybody cannot share my thought, and we are not the same. We are not exposed the same. What I've eaten is not what they've eaten, and what I'm going to eat is not what they will eat. So our exposure, our background, that's why the way we see Nigeria, it is based on our exposure and experience. As I'm talking based on my own exposure and experience. I am not a Nigerian who just speak, or I stay in Ilorin, I don't live in Ilorin. I don't stay too long in a place. I experience everywhere because so that I'll be able to have holistic understanding. And that's one thing I tell people, that when you are saying things about the Nigerians leaders, ex-leaders saying something, you want to know that what they have been saying before now, what is the result? So as we speak now, even those who vote anyhow, in 2023, they will not do that. Because they have seen that this person, the endorsement, he has endorsed people who put us in trouble. You know, when you endorse somebody, first time, you are in trouble. Second time, you are in trouble. So what else? So the only person that I can tell anybody that Baba Obasanjo endorsed, and the person, unfortunate, he couldn't stay, is Musa Yar'Adua. One of the best ever we would have had. Because the only president who reduced fuel price. Check every other one, they are also looking for how to increase fuel price so that Nigerians, they don't care. So that's the only. So if he's assuming after Yar'Adua, he now endorsed someone who did well, because he also endorsed Jonathan. Jonathan failed. The only thing Jonathan used to help himself was releasing power to the one that is there now. That's the only thing Jonathan used to help himself. And this one that is there too will also do so by releasing. But the truth is, Obasanjo has not been endorsing the right people for us after Yar'Adua. So we are not interested in his endorsement for so many that can reason in the line of what has happened in the past.
All right, now let me quickly take your advice to Nigerians, especially youths, on participating in the electoral process, as the elections are just a few months or a few days away. What is your advice?
My advice is that Nigerians should look at the past. So don't let people deceive us. That forget about the past, look at the future. Even in English tenses, English communication or our communication, because I'm a language expert, I studied English, so I can tell people that in tenses, when you speak, you have present tense, past perfect, past participle. All these tenses in correct English, you must know that without the present, you cannot have past. Without the past, you cannot even talk of future or whatever tenses. So all these things follow themselves. So if you look at it, they work hand in hand and they are connecting themselves. So we cannot talk of the future if you don't check the past and present. So we should look at what has been our experience as Nigerians as we are going to poll. The 2023 is here with us now. It's not that we are talking about it. Today is our second, and we want to know that we have less than 60 days to election. So we want to vote right. Don't vote for somebody because somebody wrote a letter and is telling you somebody is the best. Check that person. The person that he said you should vote for before. What did the person put you in trouble? So don't follow that. Follow what you know. Somebody you know that this person, not because of somebody told you to vote for the person. You want to vote for the person because you know at the end of the day you can take responsibility for your vote. That I voted for this person, so I'm now experiencing it, not based on what anybody tell you. Know what you are doing.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Zil. Let's quickly go on the short timeout. We will be right back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin, and we're still taking a look at a couple of trending issues right here on Diamond 88.7 FM. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
One man knows Nigeria, understands the people, and knows how to get Nigeria back on the road to growth. His capacity to navigate numerous industries towards growth and expansion is tested and trusted. No one needs to show Atiku Abubakar how to move Nigeria forward through challenges and onto greatness. He already has a sure plan, a strategist in entrepreneur and job creator. Atiku Abubakar knows Nigeria, knows our people, and knows the work. Atiku for sure. PDP! Power to the people! Sponsored by the Atiku Okowa Organizing for Action.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, no kill us for Nigeria. Please, help us back them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold in the mean? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
You're welcome back from that short time out. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show. Before we went on that break, we took a look at two issues making the rounds. The first is on the letter by parents of the abducted Chibok girls to President Muhammadu Buhari to rescue the remaining girls in captivity. And the second issue we also took a look at is the letter by former President Olusegun Obasanjo to Nigerians, where he endorsed the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. And we talked about the effects of this endorsement on the coming elections, or on the minds of the people, the resolve of the people. Let's quickly go on to the third issue, Dr. Zell, before we start taking reactions from people listening to us. The third issue we'll be taking a look at is the proposed bill to remove the honorable title from members of the House of Representatives' name. Members of the House of Representatives may no longer be addressed as honorables, as the Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila has sponsored a bill seeking to change the lawmakers' appellation to representatives. This legislation is titled A Bill for an Act to Amend the Legislative House's Powers and Privileges Act 2017. Already, members of the Ninth House, including the Speaker, have been using rep before their names instead of honorable that has been in use for ages. Gbajabiamila is now seeking to legalize the change in the address and designation of a member through the amendment bill. The bill seeks to insert new sections 21 and 22 into the Legislative House's Powers and Privileges Act, which read 21. A member of the Senate shall be designated and addressed as a senator and shall be entitled to have before his name the word senator during his term in office and for life. This proposed bill, does this change in title have any effect on the lawmakers in terms of quality representation of their people? Does it have any effect on them performing their duties, what they're expected to do in the House?
Well, it's supposed to actually affect what they do, but
How
in Nigeria, let me just use because we are talking about our nation.
Exactly.
It is in Nigeria somebody will bear happiness and the person is not making people happy. It is in Nigeria somebody will bear glory and the person is not glorious. He's doing things that is anti the name. So really your name matters. Sometimes people tell me, you are zealous, you are this. I'm not the one saying it, but I know my name affects me because I actually practicalize what my name means. But not everybody do that. Some people, I don't know where they got name they gave them. So the same thing goes to this. It's up when whatever you represent from your name, even if you occupy an office, the position you occupy in that office should help you in the way you discharge your duties. To be careful. But you see in Nigeria, people see it as just title. That whether I do it right or I do it wrong, they should just honor me. Honor what? You should be dishonored. When they call you honorable. What honorable what? When you are not honorable in your act. So I agree with the person, but the question is, I don't totally agree.
Okay.
Because you see, that's why I said this follow message, don't follow messenger. Me, I follow both. I want to check who is the messenger. Who is the message? What is the message? Because the truth is that if you follow the message, you don't check the messenger. One thing is that you'll be deceived. You'll be seeing that person as still honorable. Whereby, what is even telling you is because whatever somebody is telling you, and you know the person also have because they said actions speak louder than words. You also look at that, you connect the two, and then you see. So what the person, why I say I don't totally agree is that the person himself, why now? Because he's not contesting again. And that he wants a situation whereby some persons who in one way, because as you see now, the house is divided to some extent. They are not really happy. Like the issue of ASU that came on board, that he met with them, they will do this. Not all members are in agreement because it was total deception. They deceived them. At the end of the day, you see, so if you look at it, changing the name, he should start from himself. He should say he himself, he does not want to be called speaker this. He wants to be called representative this.
And that's what he's using now.
Himself.
Yes.
We all know that even if they don't use it, it is called House of Representative. So they are all reps.
All right.
But what we are saying is that as a tag, if possible, if he can customize a tag for himself and let us be seeing it attached to his suit or his agbada, we will believe him that he's serious, not just what we already know. Because
but what effect does that have when it comes to them carrying out their duties, their responsibilities in the house?
The effect is that it will always remind them that I am repo.
Your people's representation.
I am here to do the right thing for my people and make sure I actually represent them well. But when it is just because the title honorable, it has entered their heads. Majority of them behave as if if I like, let heaven fall. They collect money, constituency money, they will just go and do borehole. And that one borehole in one area, that ends it, and they will put a tag. You will see the poster they will put on that borehole, maybe of just two Russian tap. They will just put it there and paint it well so that they will, and that's the end. The rest, they will not do anything again. So it is better they are representing people. Let's call them the name that actually is their name, because their original name is actually representatives.
All right, Dr. Zil. So you feel that if they start to bear the name representatives,
Yes.
it would remind them, it would help them carry out their duties. It would remind them that, oh, you're people's representatives. You're here to serve the people, not yourself. Do you think that would work?
It will over time, especially when we follow it. You know, the problem we have in Nigeria is that we will say something, we don't follow it to the latter and consistent with the way we follow it. You see, the more you keep talking about something, the more that thing keeps sinking, and one day it will achieve a result. But in a situation whereby you talk about it, after some time you just don't do anything about it, it will just be the talk, the action. So we should back it with action, and with anybody who also do otherwise, the person should be disciplined. You see, if we can attach punishment to certain things and really follow it, I want to tell you, especially starting from those who are representing us, if there can be punishment for whatever they do that is dishonorable, then they should be dishonored by punishing them, and then they will face it. Look at what happened to one of them who traveled to US in the name of kidney stuff, you know. So that's over there. They don't want to check you whether you are whatever. They treat you for whatever you do. So anything they do wrongly, if they have said they said they should be representative and they want to continue to force themselves to be honorable, then any one of them, when it becomes law, that do otherwise, the person should be punished.
All right, Dr. Zil, I hear you. Before we start to take contributions, what is your advice to our representatives on the best way to represent their constituents for a better society, on the best way to ensure that the needs of their people, the requests of their people are well represented in the House?
They should be selfless, and they should avoid going for representation when you don't even have what it takes to represent people. For example, you may not be educated over much. Education is not when you bag degrees alone. Even if you know little, that little you know, it can help your people and you are voted for. Ensure that what you promise the people, instead of you promising them heaven and earth, and you not even do heaven, talking of earth, do the one that you know. If it's just one thing, you want to tell them that I will do this at a time, at another time I will do. Let them know, not that you will tell them everything and you not even do single one. And they should be sincere. They should not be telling lies. You promise what you cannot fulfill, and the money is already given to you, and they should not see it as a position to enrich themselves, because that's what we see. You are not having this much when you were voted, before you were voted for. Now you are there, you are not having estates, you are having cars, you are having all of these, and your people in your constituents, they are suffering. No, that should not be. Henceforth, they should be there to serve the people, so that people, they don't need to talk too much in campaign and be lying the same lies. They should know that people will definitely vote for them when they serve them well.
All right, thank you, Dr. Zil. It's now time to take some contributions via WhatsApp and calls as well. And you can drop comments on Facebook or Facebook at Diamond 87 FM. The WhatsApp number is 09136556864. What are your thoughts on the issues discussed this morning? And when you do call in, kindly move away from your radio set. You can call us on 09136556952. Let's see if we can take a couple of calls right now. All right, we're still waiting for the calls, but this one here says, good morning, Bisola and Dr. Zil in the building. Happy New Year to you guys, and I wish you all the best. Mayor from Basin. For me, this Chibok girls, I don't think this current administration will be able to deliver them, because if they would do that, by now we should be on another security challenge. Well, I do hope those girls can gain their liberty. For former President Obasanjo, for me, I don't think there is any crime in saying one's opinion, because an individual is entitled to his or her own opinion. And that was his own opinion, of which I also have mine. So for me, there's no need for anyone to preach to us to vote, because individuals, we feel it as individuals, and we need to vote wisely. Could I see you guys in the building? God bless you. God bless Diamond FM. 09136556952. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Oh, we lost that call. Kindly call us back. Hello, go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's your name?
This is Daniel calling.
From where, please?
From Vigilance.
All right, it's good to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Yeah, your guest has given his opinion. Obasanjo is a Nigerian also. He has given his opinion. And if your guest is agreeing that Obasanjo has endorsed one that was good, only that he did not live long, well, he has endorsed another one. And some of us who are watching, we are trying to see between the four major candidates. We believe Obasanjo's endorsement. And this time around, we are going to go with it. Your guest also says in Nigeria, he can tell the world who he endorsed.
All right. Not on this platform, though. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that call. Well, he says everyone has the right to his or her own opinion, and it's now left for you as a
we
person
don't
to
need
take
to be
it or
told.
leave it.
We all know that. This issue of opinions, let people, we can't take that to bank anymore.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Urban Airport.
All right. Good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Adeleke Akanbi. I want to comment briefly on the Obasanjo issue. You see, to me, Obasanjo, as people have been saying, he's free to express his opinion. But to me, it's highly related. The candidate is endorsing. How sellable is he to the north, to the west, and to the east itself? How sellable? That is one. Two, he said that he had some grievances, which was still obvious when he was in power. He had grievances with Atiku. He had grievances openly with Atinubu.
All right.
So he saw some element of respect for them. He's not accusing Tinubu of selling himself. He's playing the same role now. Why is he selling somebody? Tinubu, what Tinubu said in Morocco, he was telling the whole that there was a pact, civic pact, between two persons. Not that he said that compulsory to. He also said that the arrangement that was made between them, turn by turn, is in my neck. So it's personalized, that's personal issue. Not that he's saying I'm the most capable. No, people are misconstruing, misunderstanding what he said. So please, let's get it right. I'm free, but that idea will not sell to Nigerians. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you. Kolade Ayinde on Facebook says, Dr. Zil, ordinary citizens do not have capacity of in-depth analysis of politicians. Baba Obasanjo has staked his integrity on Obi. Dr. Zil, with due respect, sir, also recommend a presidential candidate in 2023 election that can deliver access to education, food and healthcare. Access means no citizen should spend more than 25% of his or her income. Thank you. This is Kolade from Masadam. Hello, good morning. All right, do call us back on 913-655-6952 at Dr. Seal. Well, if you want to recommend, you can do that on another platform. Maybe you buy airtime to do that.
I don't even recommend, because who should I recommend?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Olushola, calling from Ilorin West.
Olushola, it's nice to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. You know, Baba Obasanjo food is his own opinion, and he has only one food. And those days are not due that they control a lot of people. They just decide on their own and to do it. It doesn't mean that all Southwest or the Somo region is being controlled by him. That's one thing. We can see the example of what happened in the past.
All right.
And again, the issue of Nigeria, our system does not allow any integrity person to even operate. That's the problem we're having. Nigeria will be demanding from lawmakers. They are demanding infrastructure from lawmakers. When we say they are lawmakers, they should make good law for Nigeria. But what we are demanding borehole, we are demanding machine, we are demanding keke napep. How do they operate? That's the problem. They too, they are not the problem. Most of us are the problem of this. When you know that somebody is a senator, a lawmaker, why are you demanding something from him?
All right, so what can we do as Nigerians to curb this?
Nigeria is when you say somebody is a lawmaker, let all accept that you have to make a good law, not demanding projects from his area. And all of us, we should be demanding for restructuring. Because this system will not allow any integrity person to operate well. That's the problem we are having. No matter who is there, the system is not allow good person to operate. That's what we are having. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Dr. Zil, you have something to say?
Yes, that we should demand, though not money, but we should demand projects, because they give them money for projects.
Okay.
So it's not just law. Let's not be deceived because they call them lawmaker. they give them money for projects,
To execute
constituency.
projects
So that one should be demanded. But say money or patronize them unnecessarily, that should not be.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ahmed.
All right, go ahead, Samuel.
From Airport.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to contribute to the Obasanjo issue. Like your guest rightly said, you see, we should move away from the area of somebody has nominated it or somebody is supporting this at this era. We should be able to focus on what is on the ground. Obasanjo, like your guest have right, he has only brought in somebody that we actually enjoyed, who doesn't laugh. But other.
Oh, all right. We lost that call, but thank you so much for your contribution. And I hope that you do call back so we can get your message. 09136556952. That is the number to call, or you send in messages via WhatsApp. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I am John Okolo, comrade.
Comrade John Okolo. It's nice to have you on the show.
Fine.
All right.
I want to comment on just better to Nigerians. I think we can ignore the messenger, but we can look at the message critically.
All right.
There's nothing wrong in somebody guiding people's minds to what is right. Understand? He's guiding Nigerians on what he thinks should be right for Nigerians. Therefore, it is not by force that everybody should vote for something that recommended. But let us look critically at his message to Nigerians. I'm not looking at the kernel of the message itself, not the rhetoric and other grammar that he spoke. I'm looking at his message to Nigerians. The reason why he gave us that message, we should vote for social person for social reasons. Let us look at those reasons and see whether they are cogent, whether they are correct, whether it's not. I don't think he spoke out of selfishness. Obasanjo, I know he loves Nigeria. He loves Nigeria. I know he's one of the great. And when he talks, he makes everything.
Hello? Oh, Comrade Okolo, we lost that call, but thank you very much. We got the message. Dr. Zil,
yes, quickly, I just want to say that in checking who is the person Obasanjo was recommending, we want to know that the person in question had also been together with him. That's what we are talking about. And had also been in a party that we know. So it's not something, it's not new to us. The person in question is not new. So the message too is not new to us. So what we are saying is that it should not be seen as too important, because even the current administration, the same thing came. This is how they told us we should. There was a letter too that time. We should. Buhari is the best needle. The best needle now. We are complaining. So that's what we are saying. This one is very current. And I'm not talking of, say, my opinion. Not everybody will take your opinion. But whatever we are saying is that we should also be guided, even in our opinion. You don't just follow people. This is our year of positive decision. We should decide correctly for ourselves.
Now, talking about positive decision, somebody sent a message earlier and said that most Nigerians do not have access to information or an in-depth analysis of these politicians. They do not, for example, people in the grassroots, people who can easily go on the internet to check a couple of things. Now, how does the layman listening on the street, what does he look for in a politician or in somebody contesting for the elections in the year 2023? What should he look for? In a minute, Dr. Zil.
Security. Check when you are traveling, because you see it is deceptive to say people in the rural area don't get information. They get information. They even listen to radio more than those of us in the urban area. Right. So I don't take that, because the truth is that everybody now we have one information or the other. Look at your area. That when you open your two eyes, you see the way things are in your area, and you know what government's supposed to do, either state, local, or federal government. They are all there, and you see that you are not seeing all those things. They are not helping you. The things are even our market alone. Poor go to market, the rich go to market. Use market. In fact, the market alone is enough to tell you that things keep increasing, and the government is not doing anything to at least reduce it. For that alone, why are we talking of the former Yar'Adua? Because he reduced the problem of fuel. He brought it down. So if we don't have a president or somebody in the past among these people coming out now who has not brought anything down to cushion the effect of you that you are suffering, they know that that person is not for you.
All right, Dr. Zil, thank you so much. Let me quickly take this. Joel Afolayan says, good morning, Nigerian. We don't know as much as we think we do about politics. If Obasanjo's opinion and endorsement is worthless, why do frontline candidates visit him in his home? If he had endorsed another candidate, what would other reactions be? All right, but I think we need to go. We can't respond to that. We need to go right now. But before we go, we'll be signing out with the news commentary for today. My guest has been Dr. Zil Olatubosun, an educationist, a social commentator, and a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Zil.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you to everyone who contributed on the show today. We can't take any more calls or messages. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. To ensure that you stay locked on Diamond 88.7 FM Lorry. Don't go anywhere. Let's take a listen to the news commentary for today.
This week's commentary is on the New Year's agenda planning as written by Mukhtar Ajilogbon of our News and Current Affairs Department. I am Toby Adebisi. First and foremost, Happy New Year 2023 to you. I hope you are having a great time with your family celebrating the new year. See, we all make New Year resolutions, but by the end of the year, many are forgetting all about them, and then we start thinking about all the things